Assalamu alaikum, dear students. It is nice to see you again. Thank you so much for following your own lessons. As previous videos, first let's talk about your objectives in this video. Objectives are like this. It means in this video we'll teach you the cellular respiration. So we call it cellular respiration video dictionary. Why I call it video dictionary? Because cellular respiration could be a tough subject for those students who face it at first time. Mainly all of you are those students who faced it first time. So in order to understand cellular respiration, you should be familiar with these terms first. Let's talk about these terms in more details. Part 1. As you see, this is the circle of energy. It means the energy is emitted through the sun rays, then it is captured by a small fibrils that is started in photosynthesis, so then it is transformed into sugar, then this is the another consumer who consumed it and transformed the sugar into protein and lipids, so then these are the another consumers that uses from this energies. So all these circles are carrying out constantly. So by receiving the energy from sunlight energies, then transferring it into photosynthesis, and some heat is also you're seeing that it is being exhaled also here. Entirely in circulation, the energy continues to change its form. So at the following videos, you will be familiar with the terms of energy need, ATP, and cellular respiration. First of all, let's talk about energy need. So during the energy need, you should be well familiar with these 15 terms. First, energy need, and the final, activation energy. At the first stage, if you see this picture at the background, so you may analyze that it is a person, mainly in ecological or trophical levels. We call it as a consumer. So there are different type of energies, as you see that these points are showing them. So what is the exact reason that living organisms need energy? So we say that all living organisms require a continuous supply of energy to stay alive. It means any kind of living being who is living today, it is in need of a constant supply of energy. So light energy, as we studied in photosynthesis, light energy is defined as how nature makes up about 99% of the body's atoms and cells. It means the energy is transforming its shape by photosynthesis. So the first energy that is captured is the light energy. Then it will transform into different and other types of chemical and potential energies. So chemical potential energies could be energy is stored in neutron molecules. These neutron molecules that we use it everyday feedings or life. So about photosynthesis, we studied that the production of food and oxygen by absorbing sunlight using carbon dioxide and water as raw material. It is a process of different reactions that exchange the light energy into chemical potential energy. So what are macromolecules? As you see in this picture, these feeding materials are a combination of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. It means macromolecules that we use are existing into these forms: carbohydrates, fats, others like vitamins, and also proteins, which are digested through our digestive system, then it is absorbed to our body, and it will be exchanged during cellular respiration into ATP, which is the currency of energy for all living beings. Okay, dear students, in this topic we will study about energy pyramids. It means the sources of carbon, autotrophs, heterotrophs, and work. So most of the macromolecules that today we consume through our feeding materials, it is the source of carbon. In simple definition, we can say that carbon sources include emissions, Carbon sources include emissions from burning fossil fuels, forest fires, and respiration, the plants, and soil. It means these are most important source of carbons that are going to be exchanged during different levels of energy or trophic level. In trophic level, we can see the producers and also different type of consumers. So we can divide it into autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs are called for those organisms that they can produce their own feeding materials. At the first base, you see the plants. Plants are able to produce their using energy from sunlight energy. It means they are able to convert energy of the light into chemical potential energies. So then this is the heterotrophs. A heterotroph is an organism that cannot produce its own food. It means its life depends on the primary producers in order to produce different type of macromolecules to be consumed with heterotrophs. Work. What is work? Work could be activity in which one imports force to do or perform something. It doesn't matter that it is from small chemical reactions that happens inside a cell, or it is at a high scale that is could be thought as a muscular contraction during movements of different systems inside the body. Another important thing is the thermal energy. It means during our feeding we will explore the metabolic sources that we eat and that are existing in different nutrients inside our feeding material. They will change into thermal energy, then into kinetic energy that enable us to move around and do our daily activities. So thermal energy can be defined like heat, or thermal energy is a form of kinetic energy or the energy of the motion of molecules. It means when the thermal energy is emitted from its sources, then it will exchange into kinetic energy to make the molecules and atoms to move. In trophic level or living beings, you can define different type of living things that they maintain their entire body temperature by observing from different sources. For example, ectoderms could be thought as an animal that is dependent on external sources of body heat. It means their metabolic system is like this, that they cannot maintain their internal heat, so they are dependent on the external sources to maintain their body heat. Endoderms, an animal that is dependent on or capable of the internal generation of heat. It means these are those animals, they can maintain their body temperature through different metabolic reactions that happens inside their body. So they can maintain their body temperature by doing different reactions of metabolic. Another important chemical reaction that happens inside living beings are oxidation. Oxidation or oil. Oxidation means oxidation is loose. It means during the oxidation reaction, ions are lost. But during the reduction, it means RIG. Reduction is gain of electrons. It means this is the reduction that gains another ions. So in order to start different metabolic reactions inside living beings, so it is important to invest a little energy. So that is called activation energy. In simple definition, we can say that the minimum amount of energy that is required to activate atom or molecules. Thank you so much, dear students. See you on part 2.